Mulled cider. It's a great holiday thing that makes the house smell good. It warms you up. Who doesn't love it? And there are all sorts of, you know, pre-made mulling spice packets that you can purchase in the grocery store, but it's really easy to just do it on your own, and then you have more control of over how it tastes, and you're not spending a lot of extra money on little packets of mulling spices that you're going to hold on to for like 5 years. So I'm just going to show you how to do it, you know, what sorts of spices, the way I like to do it. You can really play around with it. I like to start with cider, you know, pre-crushed. I'm not using my own, I'm not crushing my own apples here. Cider tends to be less sweetened than regular apple juice. Apple juice often has additional sugar. So if you can get a raw or, you know, unsweetened cider, that's the way I like to go. You can add your own sugar and have more control over it. This particular kind is sort of sweet on its own, so I'm not going to add any sugar. I just take it and dump it into a pan. And the cool thing about doing mulled cider at home is that you can leave it on the back burner on low for the entire evening, and it will make the entire house smell really good. You can keep going back for more. You can keep adding more cider or more apple juice if you choose to do that to the spices in there, and you can just keep it going for a long time. It's even a cool thing to do in a slow cooker if you're worried about having the stove on, is just put it in your slow cooker, keep the spices and juice in there, and keep replenishing it, and it'll warm up and steep and be great. I like to use 2 cinnamon sticks, and those are things that, you know, if you often have in your pantry already, just throw them into the juice. I like to use whole cloves, and I like a lot of cloves in mine, so I'm going to put probably 6 or 7 in. But if you don't like it so spicy, you know, just put a couple in. And then I do kind of an interesting thing is I like to put black peppercorns in. I think it adds just a little bit of bite. Pepper actually goes pretty well with fruit. It goes well with pears and with strawberries and with apples. And I think it just adds kind of a nice dimension to the cider. And then sometimes I add a slice of fresh ginger to give it sort of a more peppery bite. Today I'm going to add in kind of a couple big pieces of orange zest. And when you're peeling it, you want to try and not get too much of the white part because that's bitter and not in a good way. But just the orange part, if you squeeze it, you can release some of the oils into the cider. And you get just a couple pieces in there. And you can go all sorts of directions with this too by adding other spices. Sometimes I add whole allspice. I think that adds a great depth of flavor to it as well. So I throw all my spices in, I put it on the stove over low heat, and I let it just start heating up. And once it's steaming, all of those spices are going to release their wonderful flavors into the juice, and you have great mulled cider, and there's no tea bags and no overpriced mulling spices required.